which trig ratio can you represent with the side opposite A and the side adjacent to A? Opposite and adjacent is which part of SOHCAHTOA? TOA. Okay, so that means that you can use the tangent ratio for A has to be opposite, which is 4, over adjacent, which is 3. Okay, now, I wrote these in fraction form here. In the example I did on this last page, I wrote it in decimal form. It doesn't matter. And the fact that it's written as a fraction here, it is fine. Anytime you're looking for an angle, you perform this type of calculation. To find an angle, you use the inverse ratio. Okay, so to find angle A, I'm going to use the inverse trig ratio. So I'm going to take the inverse tan of whatever the ratio was. So my ratio was 4/3. So if I take the inverse tan of 4/3, and I can write it as a fraction, that's okay. Now keep in mind, if I hit enter right here, is it going to give me the decimal value in my calculator? No. So I want to either hit green diamond or put a decimal in there. But when I hit enter now, I get my angle, and my angle of A is 53 point, and I'm going to go ahead and put a decimal there, 53.1 degrees. Okay. And let's test angle B. So based on the information that's provided, which trig ratio can relate sides opposite B and adjacent to B? Also the tan, right? So I can take the tangent of B is equal to the opposite 3 over the adjacent 4. And I can calculate this. B is equal to the inverse tan of this ratio 3/4. And so when I calculate it, inverse tan 3 over 4, again I can either put a decimal in my problem or use the green diamond key. And I get 36.9 approximately. Now, does this make sense? Are these two angles adding up to what I would expect them to add up to? What should the acute angles of a right triangle add up to? 90 degrees is 53.1 and 36.9. Do those add up to 90?